Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we're looking at X-Men Forever issue 3, Fall of the House of X, and we have Tempest, one of the 5 Ava Bell on the front cover, continuing that tradition. So we have Doug finally being free, and he is told off everything that has happened, and Krakoa obviously explained, I wanted to protect you because he sensed the fall was coming, and he is woken into, well, a war zone, so to speak. This is written by Kieron Gillen. Luca Maresca is on the art. Federico Blee is on the colors. Feces, Clay and Cows on the les, and Tom Muller, Jay Bowen, and Kat Gregor Witz on design, and I apologize if I said any names incorrectly. I like saying names correctly. So we have Shaw reaching out to Emma Frost, saying that he believes that his secretary is an AI, and she detects the unauthorized detection, etc. But Shaw passes on a phrase that Doug can surely use to cause some trouble for the Sentinels as part of the creation, which is great. So there are guns. Irene, now in the timeline, can now see the future, and she realizes that there is no way to win. Exodus says, you're a member of the council. You know, we all need to, not voice such defeatists. So Cypher gives it a go. Exodus says Shaw has betrayed us, but he's like, no, it's my bad. I put in the wrong code. I'm a little bit rusty. So Cypher is a miracle, and Exodus is back in the frame, and so does so Doug picks up a gun, and I think the last time he had one, I think he was he used to kill Irene? I feel like that's what happened, or something along those lines. I would have to go back to those issues back in the, what was it, around 300, 280 something, 87. I could just be throwing random numbers out there. I can't remember, it's a long time ago. But she's saying that battles are not wars. So sure, even though he betrayed him, he sort of, he was trying to say that, good luck getting our country back from Kingpin when this is all over. I can't believe you trust him over us. So she said, what, you really didn't betray us? He's like, oh, I did. But he's a smart businessman. He has a plan to get his mutant gene reactivated via the serum. So the other serum was clearly just a suppression, and Shaw is back in the game. Hope is trying to capture the Phoenix, who is on the run, and she is having a little bit of trouble, and there are clearly many stages to getting the Phoenix back to where it was. And I'll be honest with you, I was trying to understand this bit, what it was. So this was Rachel's plan, and it clearly needs a little bit more for her to be able to capture it. She is one mutant trying to capture her. So she knocks for assistance from the other side, which Doug picks up. So they need Manifold to assist them of how they get back to the White Hot Room to assist Hope. But Destiny wants to see Nightcrawler, and he comes flying through saying, Mama! And then Mystique comes flying and shooting at her longtime partner, saying that you left it in code in a book. I guess that's X-Men Blue, which I haven't read, which is on my agenda to read, because at the moment this is complicated reading without perhaps reading that, etc. So Kurt says this isn't the family reunion that I pictured, and I want to speak to Irene quickly. So Irene sort of tells the story of that Azazel was gonna ascend to power, and there was gonna be worldwide chaos and deaths, etc. So Destiny stepped in after seeing this vision to lock all this secret away, etc. So there was one element that that Kurt was born, but he had to become an X-Men. She had to give him up to save him because he was going to die in this future, etc. So she chose Xavier to purge these memories. Raven chose otherwise, even though being advised against it. It left her mind in tatters, apparently, which is why, obviously, I guess she knew she was Kurt's mother back then. So just making a bit of sense. But there was also a threat outside of time and space that had been hunting her for 100 years, that she had to keep this all secret and not bring attention to it. And revealing these secrets would be that. So the book was meant to be her last testimony. And they're at the end, and she apologizes, etc. Now, the thing is, Kurt's has complicated feelings. He's happy, he's angry, but he's like, we'll work this out. Now, the trouble is, Irene hasn't just had these memories removed. She's had the feelings of love and motherhood removed as well. Just because having those feelings in there could lead to her discovering the truth naturally during this period, which she couldn't allow herself, so it's locked away. And only Xavier, and he promised to remove these at the end at some point. And so Mystique is like, well, let's go find Professor Xavier. And she's like, no, we can't do that. I'm not telling you where he is, because if you do this, you die. And, Mystique ends up going off. It is what it is. So they need Exodus needs Kurt anyway to get back to the White Hot Room, and it's a little bit complicated how they do this, and I'm not sure I truly understood how they get this to Hope, but Exodus chooses to be this, and he takes a sword with him. Kurt says something really great here, that you put your hope in other people's hands is the purest form of hope, because that's what X has done. He's a believer. So he tries to unburden Hope, and she's like, no, I'm doing Messiah stuff. I'm finally listening to you. And he's like, take the sword, etc. Oh, and she wants one more thing. She wants to pass on a message to her dad, Nathan Dayspring Summers. And I think this sort of leads in towards the end, saying, he was always there for me. I never knew my parents. He was always my dad. So, she wants him to know that he is my father, regardless of blood, etc., whatever. And Cable, he manages to come and say goodbye at this moment as well. It seems a bit random, this page. I'm not being funny, rather than the message that that could lead to part of a story later on, but hey, it is what it is. It's pretty cool. So the sword is not just a sword. No, it has David Halley in here, and he wishes that he had a dad like Hope as well, which is great. So the sword is more extra speed, whereas Legion changes into an awesome gun, which is perfect. So she reaches out to Jean. They're doing this. They are going to go find the Phoenix and hopefully bring it back. So she's going to go hunt him. And that leads into the final page of the story, which is around the embassy. And quite weirdly, I was not expecting this, completely out of the blue. And it either leads into that final issue, or it leads beyond there, because we know that this story of this embassy, this overall Sinister, the original Sinister, is surely not going to be over in this Fall of X. If it is, wow, they've really tied it up in about 2 issues of the final Fall of X, Rise of Powers of X, and X-Men 35 maybe. That's one quick wrap up for a character that's just been hovering in the background for a long time and not being a main player. I could seriously feel it overspilling. So she says, hello. I'm just going to read this because it's easier. Hello, Louise. Yes, Louise Sporting. I'm here to talk about your pregnancy. But I'm not pregnant. You aren't yet. Let's talk about that. He has gone back 9 months before Hope's birth. Nobody knows who Hope's father is. Is the original Sinister Hope's father? Or does he orchestrate something to control Hope and maybe prevent... you can't prevent Hope's existence, because that causes too many issues in my mind in terms of everything around after decimation. So surely that's not happening, but we always thought it was the Phoenix that said this new birth would be a mutant, etc. Maybe it is the Phoenix that influences the birth overall, perhaps. So yeah, for lots of interest, and there was always things about she resembled Jean as well, all those things, even though her parent is meant to be Louise Sporden, so maybe a bit of spice enough genes could add to it. So yeah, so really some interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to this final issue. Like I said, in my mind, I think if they resolve it all in that last issue, that would be some big feat, because I feel like there is so much to explore. But yeah, what a way to end this issue. Just an ending that I just didn't. And don't get me wrong, I can't always foresee the future like Destiny, but sometimes you feel like some things have a natural order. So when there's a curveball, you're like, that's a decent curveball. I like that curveball, and Kieron's done it really well. I still feel, I also feel like this shouldn't have been called X-Men Forever. Why on earth they didn't carry on the Immortal X-Men title is beyond me. It should have just been there all the way up, because we would have got to issue 21, I think, if I've done my math. No, wait a minute, 19, 22, sorry, we've ended with issue 22. It almost seems pointless, and it would have been a nice little hardback omnibus. I mean, we still don't know what Marvel's mapping of any sort of the universe of Krakoa is going to be. I think a lot of us would love to see them just do it like they started to do it, where it's just in issue order. I think that works really well. Or they just release the individual omnibuses that all feed in together, etc. But once again, there are so many little side stories that could end up really messy, rather than just the you could just call it the Krakoa era and just volume 1. Easy. Anyway, I've gone off a tangent. I hope you like my video. I really do. I hope if you do like my video, you subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate that. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Really appreciate it. Please look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace your geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.